If you own an aquarium, you may know that after a while your tank can get very dirty. One of the most important things when keeping fish in an aquarium is to do water changes. Changing the water helps to remove harmful chemicals that build up in an aquarium over time, including ammonia, nitrite, and nitrate, as well as the buildup of detritus, or dead organic particulate material. Changing water can also help prevent algae growth. In this video, I will show the steps needed in order to properly clean an aquarium, focusing primarily on water changes.
So before continuing on with this video, I just want to preface that this tutorial may not be the way that you know how to do water changes or have heard in the past, but this way works the best for me, and that's why I'm teaching it to you guys.
This is my 55-gallon aquarium. It is a freshwater tank with many aquatic plants and an organic and rocky subsoil. For me, I like to do between a 20 and 50% water change every week to keep the water conditions adequate for my fish. But as you can see here, recently I have neglected to change the water in this tank. This has led to the growth of a black hair algae on the aquarium tubing and slow growing plants. Doing more frequent water changes can actually help prevent this type of algae from growing. So let's start with the things you'll need to change the water in your aquarium. You'll need some sort of bucket to hold the water, a siphon, a sponge of some sort to clean the glass, or you can also use an aquarium magnet. I also recommend having a towel handy. Before cleaning an aquarium, especially a larger one, it is a good idea to put a towel down on the floor in case you spill any water. I like to make sure the space around me is clear, so when I'm carrying buckets of water, I don't trip over anything. The first step is to make sure that all filters and heaters are off or unplugged. Because the water level in the aquarium will drop during a water change, the filters may not be able to intake any water and can run dry, which is very bad for the water pump. The heater can also burn out when exposed to air, so make sure these are off. Next is to start draining the tank. Depending on the size of the tank, you may want to use a cup to scoop water out of the aquarium. However, since we are dealing with the larger tank here, I will be using a siphon, as it is a much quicker and more efficient way to remove water out of an aquarium. Start by placing the bucket at a lower point from the aquarium, as this will aid the water to flow downward. Place one end of the tube in the aquarium towards the bottom, and hold the other end in your hand. Next, place your mouth on the siphon tube, and slowly suck in on the siphon, creating a vacuum in the tube, thus making the water flow. After making sure that the water is flowing, quickly transfer the end of the tube to the bucket that you have placed. It may seem that in this step, I'll get a mouthful of water. However, as long as you provide a good amount of suction and are quick about moving the hose back to the bucket, you should have no problem. Once the bucket is full of water, you can either stop the flow by lifting the aquarium side of the tube out of the water, or simply transferring the tube to another bucket. You can just dump out the water in a toilet or outside. If the flow of water is slow and you are stuck waiting there, like in my case, you can actually use this time to clean the aquarium glass, as well as any debris that may be in the tank. Here, I'm just using an ordinary kitchen sponge to clean the glass on the tank. However, for algae, I like to use the more abrasive sides. It may seem obvious, but make sure not to use any cleaning solvents in this process, as this may harm the fish. Here I've drained about 30% of the water. Next, it's time to fill the tank back up. Let's go ahead and fill up another bucket with fresh water. I like to use my bathtub faucet, as the water comes out quickly and I can easily regulate the temperature. Try to get this water to the same warmth as the remaining water in the aquarium, so you don't temperature shock the fish. Once the bucket is full, we then need to prime the water. This stuff is called Chem Prime, and its primary purpose is to dechlorinate the water so it doesn't harm the fish. Add the amount needed to the bucket according to the instructions on the back. It is alright to not be 100% precise with this, as a slightly larger dosage will not affect the fish much. Then, go ahead and slowly pour the water back into the aquarium. Repeat with filling and priming until you fill the tank almost to the brim. You can now plug in your pump and heater and sit back and enjoy your freshly cleaned aquarium. Your fish will thank you. So thank you for watching my tutorial on how to do a water change on your aquarium. And make sure to leave a comment or any questions you may have down below.